and just do that by however much looks good. That should be about right. Yep, that looks pretty good. It's not exactly how it is over there on the other model, but it's pretty dang close. Alright. That looks pretty good, so let's move on to the next section. What I'm going to be modeling now are these little nubs sticking out from the thing right here. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and save real quick, but to do that, I'm going to go ahead and go into edge selection mode again. Select all of these edges right here, including this one and the one right there. I'm going to go ahead and connect it 4 times. I'm going to pinch it by connect it 4 times. Then I'm going to get out of this and going to deselect the set of edges right here. Then I'm going to go into the scale tool and basically just scale it by, actually you can't do that with edges, I forgot. You have to go into the vertices selection mode. Go ahead and select all those. Okay, now that I selected these, I'm going to scale it down on the x-axis until this number on the bottom left beside the x turns to 30. That will decrease it by about 70%. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing for the vertices over here. Just go ahead and decrease it by the 70% so it turns into 30. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and delete these spaces that occupy the space in between the edges. Going to delete that. And the same over here. Now I'm going to create faces to cover up this area right here. Let's go into polygon selection mode, go into create, and just create faces. Okay, now that that's done, we have to do that curve over here because obviously this looks like crap, so we gotta fix that real quick. Okay, and now what we're gonna go ahead and do is make this into that curvy thing over there. So go ahead and start out by connecting these 2 edges on top with 1 segment. Go ahead and copy the coordinates on the z-axis from right there. Paste it over on this new edge. Click on the chamfer tool and do that by however much it needs it. I'm just going to do it by about that much. And then go ahead and drag it over here. just a little bit. Go ahead and hit the chamfer tool one more time. Just kind of adjust that to how you need it. And I'm going to go ahead and connect this thing. Actually, no, I'm going to go ahead and select that, and copy the coordinates from over here and paste it onto this edge, just so I can get it completely vertical with this floor right here. Then I'm going to go ahead and use the chamfer tool on that one edge, just by however much you need to make it look decent. And as you can see, that pretty quickly way to make that curved edge right there. We're going to be applying some smoothing groups later on, so you could do that now or later, doesn't really matter. I'm just going to wait for now. So we're going to have these two nubs right here looking uniform. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this nub and place it over to where this other one is. So just go ahead and select all the faces that make this one right here. Hit the, copy the coordinates on the x-axis. Hit the delete button. Select all these newly created faces we just did. Go ahead and drag it out while holding down the shift key. Clone it to an element. Go ahead and paste those coordinates we took earlier back into that one space right there. Click out of it. Go into your vertices selection mode. Uncheck ignore back facing so we can select all vertices. Go ahead and select the whole model and go into the weld tool and weld it by a threshold of 0.1. Once again, that will get rid of any of the open edges we have, except for the obvious edges right here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and start creating this wall right here. It's actually really simple, and I'll show you how to create it pretty simply. So I'm just going to save it right here and then begin showing you how. Go ahead and select this wall right here. Go down and select the tessellate button. Now, a few words on tessellate. For any new modeler or anybody who doesn't know how to use it correctly, it's pretty much the worst tool you can use. It can mess up your model in so many different ways, but it can be used for a few things. So I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and okay, sorry about that, my screen recorder got a little messed up there for a second, but I didn't lose anything, so that's good. Okay, go ahead and select this face. Hit the tessellate button, where the box beside it that is. Hit the F2 key. And as you can see, this isn't turning out right, because all of these lines are going to the center right here, and that's not correct. So what we want to do is cancel and go ahead and detach this face real quick. Just going to detach it to an extra object real quick. Actually, it's not even necessary. I'm just going to detach it to an element. So go ahead and select this face again, and what we actually want to do is hide the unselected polygons just so they're not in our way. So scroll down to hide unselected. That'll hide any polygons that aren't being selected right now. So go ahead and just backspace all of the vertices on the bottom that aren't being used. They were being used to connect to those nubs that I created earlier, but we're going to recreate them after I fix something real quick. So to create that cross bar pattern in the wall, go ahead and select your polygon. Hit the tessellate tool once more. And as you can see, it's all lining up in the center like it was supposed to. Go ahead and click OK. You can go ahead and turn off the shaded, or turn on the shaded mode now by hitting F2. Go into your inset tool and inset it by value of about 10 units. Actually, I'm just trying to make this physically accurate with my other model right here. Should be something like 12.5. Actually, do it by about 15 units. And that should be good. So with those polygons still selected, go into your extrude tool and extrude that by negative 15 units. And there you go, that's an easy way to make it. Now we just have to do, you can go ahead and unhide all your other stuff real quick. Actually no, one more thing. I have to replace those deleted vertices that I deleted earlier. So go ahead and go into your edge selection mode, insert vertex, and insert vertices here, 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 and here. Now we can go ahead and unhide all those other polygons. Now what we're going to do is simply reattach this to this thing right here, because I detached it earlier when I did that detach thing. So go ahead and target weld these new vertices to the old ones. And just to do a check, go into your border tool and select everything. And as we can see, there's still an error right there, but I know exactly what I did wrong. Just to fix that real quick, I'm going to go ahead and select every vertex, go into the weld tool and weld it by a threshold of 0.1. Recheck everything, and as you can see, that fixed it. Everything looks fine right here. Alright then. Now I'm going to clean up this wall. To do that, I'm going to select this center vertex, hit the backspace key, and I'm just going to make numerous cuts in the model to clean up everything. Not really cuts, just create new edges. So go into your edge selection mode, go into the create button, and just create them like this, just to clean up everything. That looks pretty good. Select this new polygon in the center right here. Go into your bevel tool. Okay, so go ahead and extrude it by 3 units and outline it by 3 units also. Or negative 3 units, that is. There you go. You created this wall fairly easily. There are a lot more complicated ways to do it, but this way is obviously the fastest. Okay, now what we're going to go ahead and do is create this draping wire thing with the hooks connected to this top right here. To do that, I'm going to go ahead and create a new shape with a square, or rectangle that is. Just create it over here. Alright, give it dimensions, length 17 by 17 with a corner radius of 2. And go ahead and get rid of those rounded edges right there. I'm going to go into interpolation and just turn that down to 0.